The mother of Jesus saith unto him, they don't have any wine, Jesus. And Jesus says, I'm a guest here. It's not my problem, right? You know, mothers, though, don't react right. I mean, you can put some people off, but mothers, they think they are a privileged class. And she looked at him and said, Jesus, they have no wine. Now, you've got to ask, why did she do this? This was supposed to be his first miracle. Somehow she believed he could do something about it. I don't know whether Jesus had some of his boyfriends over and they ran out of Oreo cookies and he made a few on the sly, or I don't know whether he multiplied the cookies or what he did, but she caught him. Somehow she knew that he was something more than ordinary. And she said, they're out of wine. And Jesus looked at her and said, woman, I don't think he was saying this disrespectfully. It's the way it turned out in the King James. Woman, what have I to do with thee? And then he said, mine hour is not yet come. So he tries to argue with his mother, which turns out to be totally futile. It's impossible, as it still is to this day, right? He tries to argue with his mother. He said, woman, my hour is not yet come. Why did he say that? Was it because it was true? No, it proved not to be true. But the fact was, you know, mothers had this intuition, and they're also very ambitious for their kids. Have you ever sat through any of these recitals? You go to visit someone, and the first thing they want to do is set their kid down on the piano and say, I want you to listen to my kid play this recital piece. Or they're all the time trying to show you what their child has done. Because mothers are naturally ambitious for their children. They've got a lot invested by this time, after all. And so, when he said, mine hour is not yet come, his mother acted like she didn't hear a word he said. She just turns to the servants and says, whatever he says to you, do it. So you're Jesus, and you're sitting here saying, all right, do I disrespect my mother, or do I turn the water into wine? Well, that's an easy answer. You turn the water into wine, right? So, well, here's what happened next. Verse 6. And there were set 6 water pots of stone after the manner of the purifying of the Jews, containing 2 or 3 firkins apiece. And Jesus saith unto them, fill the water pots with water. And they fill them up to the brim. I mean, if we're going to get free wine, you might as well fill it all the way to the top, right? So they filled them up to the brim. And he saith unto them, now draw it out and serve it to the governor of the feast. And they did. There's a couple of incredible things here. First of all, what had been Mary's instruction? I think we can learn a lot from this today. She looked at the servants and said, whatever he says to you, do it. You think the Lord would ever look at you and me and say the exact same thing? Whatever he says to you, do it. Is that good advice to all of us yet today? If the Lord tells you to do something, just do it.